Hello everyone, welcome to this explanation video of Crohn's disease, the disease I deal with on a daily basis. I'm gonna explain what it actually does and also explain some points on what people have done to me that made it very difficult to live with for the past couple of years. So first on how the disease actually works. It is called IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. However, it has some things to do with the bowel. In reality, it's the immune system that attacks the body. Whenever I get infected with the cold, the flu, an infection, or something else like a virus, the immune system attacks it. But because my immune system works more, so basically is highly active, after it defeated whatever invaded my body, it doesn't turn off, which with a normal immune system, it does turn off. So, the fact that my immune system does not turn off, it attacks the body's cells and the good bacteria that are, for example, in the small and big intestine to digest the food that you eat. And because it attacks that, it also damages the tissue of the bowel itself. I don't know which intestine it is, the small or large intestine, but there are some sort of hairs that absorb whatever is in the food that the body needs to operate. Which in my case, because my tissue is damaged, it doesn't absorb whatever my body needs, which is an issue, of course, because that can be considered unhealthy. And because my body does not get what it needs to operate properly, other things in my body gets affected as well. And it can be several things. I can basically put like right here what it affects. And now to the part where it's been a problem for me these past 3 years, since 2020. First, before I talk about the events that happened, I will not name anybody. What is also a thing is that every year I pay 385 euros of own risk just to get my medication. And since Crohn's disease is a chronic disease, which means that it never goes away, it's very annoying. Because I just don't have that money. I mean, I did have that money in 2020 when I pretty much made about 2,000 to 3,000 euros per month with Twitch, which got taken from me because some people accused me of being in it for the money, or the other accusations where I used people, which both of them are false. I'm still annoyed by those accusations because they're just not true. So what happened a lot during 2020 is that someone gave me so much stress that I fainted a lot. On a daily basis at the peak, it was like maybe 2 or 3 times a day that I fainted. And those are not fun because it causes stress on me, it causes stress on my dad, on the hospital. In general, it was not fun to deal with because I pretty much got in the hospital every other week to constantly get tested and all sorts of things. And this went on for about 6 months. Eventually I heard that this person that was tormenting me for 6 months without a single care for my health and what I went through with that person got in the hospital with COVID. And I said something that to an extent I regret saying, but at the same time I don't regret saying. I pretty much said that he could die in the hospital because at that point it was 6 months of continuous torment. And why would I apologize or feel guilty for that when the fact that that person had no care for my health, for my stress, for my mental health, for my physical health or anything like that for about 6 months? I'm not gonna apologize for anything. And this was like 2020 stuff that I had to deal with when it comes to Crohn's disease in that year. Then 2021 came and that one was a bit worse because I dated someone, that relationship ended and I exposed them for something that is disgusting, and it involves underage people. Just by saying that, you might already understand what kind of situation it was, and it was twice, by the way, before me and after me. Anyway, this person did everything to silence me, to keep me quiet, and attacked me almost non-stop every day until October 31st of 2021 on Halloween. So what happened is that because of all the stress that the constant fighting caused, it caused fistulas, which are a connection between the bowel and the skin, and it's like a tunnel between it, which isn't so bad to deal with because I still deal with it, because yes, that damage has never gone away. Those tunnels can get infected, and when they get infected, things start to go wrong, and a pocket forms which has waste in it, pus and some other stuff. It's nasty to talk about, but it's what happens, and eventually it will grow to a point where it starts to hurt extremely bad. At first I could sit in my chair for a couple of days, and then it started to hurt to the point where I had to put a pillow below me because I couldn't sit down anymore. Then it got even worse from there because I had to prepare my bed with my VR headset, my phone, my charging, everything in order to get through 3 whole weeks of pain and suffering. So I could not move. If I moved just an inch, it would hurt like crazy. It is not fun because a fistula that is infected becomes an abscess, and these are not just small abscesses that sometimes you have underneath the teeth or something. No, these are abscesses with like 5 to 10 centimeters by 4. Laying on that or sitting on that is not fun because it hurts, because eventually pressure builds up a lot, and well, the waste and stuff cannot go anywhere, so it has to go somewhere, right? Luckily for me, I took antibiotics, which all I can say is that my body cannot take antibiotics because of my disease. It will reject it. There's only 2 ways that the abscess could open up and get the pressure off of it and get all the waste out. Outside or inside, which let me tell you, to the outside it is fine, but if it opens up to the inside, that's where things can go really wrong, because the waste and stuff is infected with bacteria and just dead bacteria. When that goes into the body, that's where I have a problem, because that is life-threatening. And this abscess or fistula to abscess happened 4 times in a row. First time it happened, it was 4 weeks long. So 1 week to build up and 3 weeks to get rid of it. And then a week after that I recovered. That was due to antibiotics that it took so long to get over with. Then it was a week fine, and a second one came because the war and fighting and drama and stress was still going on. Because me, I don't run away from a fight. I will fight until the very end, because I stand for truth, and that's what I was fighting for. So the second abscess came, and I took antibiotics again, which took the same length as the first one. After that second one, I decided to not take antibiotics anymore because they're just not working for me. The third one came, and it was gone within a week because I didn't take antibiotics. Interesting. And after 4 abscesses, about like 3 months later, this war and everything was still going on. At that point, I would just change my name, change my accounts and everything just to get away from the stress, just to make sure the abscesses and all the damage would not go further. Do you think that this person left me alone? Of course not. So more and more stress came because he was constantly trying to get into the world with me to keep me silent, using my friends against me, making my friends backstab me, causing me more stress and anxiety and paranoia and overall a declining mental state. And because of this person, I also started to develop PTSD. So thanks for that. Anyway, eventually it came to the point where I would sit in a world with friends, because I had a new friend group at that time. I had a girlfriend at that time. I sat upstairs at a mirror, and I always have to say this detail: the pens were downstairs. So this person joins the world. I see people pointing at me, at my position, and I'm like, why? Why is this happening? Then this person got a pen from downstairs just to write right above me, name was here. I'm sorry, but if that's not provocative, then I don't know what is, because I did not attack anyone at the time, because that's also how I work. I don't attack until I'm attacked first. But people don't seem to understand that at all, because people think that I'm the one attacking first and that I'm some sort of monster and shit like that. After that incident, I left that world right as they were writing it. My girlfriend joined me and we were both pissed off at it because it's provocative. I didn't do anything and I did everything just to try and get away from it. But this person would follow until the very end, going as far as sending hackers and gang monkeys after me, even trying to get people to call the cops on me or some international law thing, even though what they did was worse than what I did. So all I did was talk and show proof, the proof that I don't have anymore. So this happened in October of 2021. The only reason that I could think that that whole war stopped and that my stress finally had gone down a little bit was because on October 31st, 2021, my brother passed away. That made a very huge impact on me because Halloween was my favorite holiday, even topping my own birthday. But nowadays I cannot enjoy Halloween anymore because of that. And ever since, it just a lot of stress since, like smaller conflicts and stuff like that, constantly getting me stressed, but not to the point of that these two people that caused me a lot of fainting and the obsessors have done. I'm not gonna beat around the bush because I hate them. I hate them for this because they harassed me for months just to get an apology from me for exposing them from doing things to minors. But did they ever think of apologizing to me for all the things they've done to me? For all the damage they've caused mentally and physically? For the stress they caused on not just me but my dad and the hospital? For the amount of money that was needed for this stuff to get me stable? No, they never apologized for anything like that. Because to this day they still hate me for telling the truth. And you know what's also funny? One of them is even a streamer, and they care more for their own reputation, following, and fame than to actually tell the truth and show who they really are. Because they show themselves as all nice and innocent, even though in reality they are not at all. That was what the disease is, and I also explained some of the things that I had to deal with which were related to the disease. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.